What's an unusual talent you have?
I don't know if I have any unusual talents.
Like super flexible?
No.
Oh.
My hips hurt.
What about, can you say the alphabet backwards?
No.
Can you people up?
Yes.
This video is posted 24 hours before Dustin Poirier became the lightweight champion. Dustin is a winner. You don't get 30 wins on your record by it being set up somehow by somebody. Why do I say that? He is so good, but he still ends up losing. But the more important thing is what he does with those losses. He uses them as lessons. And today I want to point out how you can go from your failures, turn them into lessons, and end up getting better. With my first example being Dustin after the first Conor McGregor fight. But before that, if you want to be cool like Sajanowski and get a chance to be shouted out in one of these videos, join the Discord, first link in the description. Okay, now back to the video.
Look, don't fight the person, you know. Don't in your mental leading up. You know, I'm a thinker, man. I always think and go through the fight in my head over and over again. And a lot of times I would find myself like being angry at him or thinking about him. I'm not fighting him who he is. I'm fighting his style of fighting and what he does in the cage. So you're not fighting, you know, all the talk and all that stuff. You know, it'd be a different show if I could do it again. But you know, I've learned a lot from it, and maybe if he comes up to 55, I can crack him there. So
when this fight happened, everything was about Conor. Conor this, Conor that. Dustin already hates him. He already hates him because he's getting better treatment. Add on top of that his trash talking, calling him a pea-head, hillbilly.
About nothing, just a little pea-head. Dustin thinks it's all talk. Dustin thinks it's all talk, but when he wakes up with his nose plastered on the other side of his face, he's gonna know it's not all talk. Don't get me wrong, I like the kid. He's a quiet little hillbilly from the back arse of nowhere. I'm sure he grew up in a circus or a fair. You know, he's a nice little kid. You know, his cousin's probably named Cletus or something. I don't know. He's a nice kid, but his chin is gonna be cracked, and it's gonna be cracked early.
It only adds more fuel to the fire. I mean, Dustin literally said it himself.
Never dislike somebody that much.
I'm a nice guy now. What?
But now Dustin understands that he is not fighting Conor. He's fighting his style. He's not fighting the person. He's not fighting the trash talk. He's not fighting all that. He's fighting his style. And Dustin needed this. He needed this loss, this learning experience to understand that. And now going into fights, he knows it's nothing personal. He is fighting a style and that it's strictly business. Now let's see what he's learned from his first title shot lost versus Khabib.
Just trying to, the growth and confidence since that fight. You know, I went into that fight confident. I was fighting one of the best in the world. I knew, like I said a while ago, I knew anything could happen in any one of these fights. But the growth is just learning from mistakes, slowing things down. You know, trying to get up on the fence when Khabib had my back and giving up my neck when I still had more rounds to go. You know, maybe losing the round compared to losing the fight. Should I have positioned myself better, you know, just been safe instead of, I have to get up right now and put myself in harm's way. Just trying to balance everything, man. It's a juggling act with all these things going on. Not just the techniques, but the mindset and the time to take risks in the fight. I'm just trying to get better, learning, man. I mean,
No, man, I'm a sick person. It makes me want to do better, do more, come back stronger, show them another lesson that I've learned, dust myself off again, show you that I can do it, show myself that I can do it. It motivates me, man. It sucks to get on these streaks and get so close to the mountaintop and then get knocked down again. And but I'm familiar with that, man. I promise you I'm going to rise again. I'm going to get my hand raised. I'm going to beat who I have to beat, and I'll be back knocking on that door again. It's just I hate having to dust myself off over and over again, but this is my story, man. This is my path. I don't try to look for an explanation of why this happened. I know I'm one of the best in the world. And when it all does finally come together, it's going to be beautiful, and it's my story, and I understand that. So I'm just going to keep grinding, keep getting better. But at the same time, it is, you know, it's a love-hate relationship. I love this so much that sometimes I hate it. And, you know, it just keeps breaking my heart, but I keep coming back. Like that relationship when you're, you know, like a girlfriend or that something that just keeps breaking your heart and you just keep coming back to it. I can't stop. I will not stop. I know I have greatness in me, man, and I'm going to show the world. I just have to keep grinding.
I mean, I knew he was going to press. I knew I was going to be against the fence a lot. I just feel like I let myself down. You know, I didn't cut any corners preparing for this. I felt like my whole career set me up for this moment, but maybe there were times in there I could have did more. I was just so prepared, and now I got to wake up and look myself in the mirror every morning with this result. And if anything adversity's taught me in the past, is when times are good, be grateful, and when times like this, be graceful. So I'm gonna just go home, spend some time with my family. It's been a long road. I'm proud of everything I've accomplished in this sport. I have a lot of tread left on the tires, but right now I just need some time to think, man.
Sometimes maybe there isn't some big philosophical lesson and oh, I should have prepared like this and no, I can take this from it. Sometimes he was just better, point blank. In that Khabib fight, Dustin got Khabib in a really tight guillotine, and it was the closest thing we saw to Khabib being submitted. It was just some errors that Dustin did, technically, and then he learned upon them. Sometimes it's not good to overthink. It's not good to try and constantly think about, oh, I could have done this, or if I just did this, or oh my god, how am I so stupid, I could have just did this. Sometimes just look at the technical mistakes you made, write them down, practice them, and add them to your arsenal. It's as simple as that. Prime example, Khabib used his iconic move, the Dagestani handcuffs. Dustin didn't have an answer to it, so when he was probably rewatching the fight, he wrote it down, practiced it, and in his next fight versus Dan Hooker, he used that move. Now let's see what Dustin took away from the Charles Oliveira loss.
Put myself in the position I thought that I was going to be the world champion. And I knew I was going to either come out here tonight and be the world champion or fail daring greatly, and sometimes, you know, this is what happens. Like I said, man, I'm not a stranger to this kind of position. You know, nobody wants to be used to losing, but I'm just used of learning, and it is what it is. That's the fight game, you know. Try not to sit up here at another press conference and cry in front of you guys, but I'm gonna continue to do what I do. Be a father, try to be a beacon of light, keep grinding.
But does the fact that you've been in this before and then been able to get back here say that you can do it again, right? You've done this before, you can do it again?
I can do anything I put my mind to. I can fight for another belt, I can go on another streak, I can claw and climb and get back to wherever I want to be. It's just, do I want to? That's the question I have to look in the mirror and answer. Do I want to do it again? Do I want to go down that road again? And that answer will come in the next couple days, next couple weeks. Just need to let this pass and see what's next for me.
The easiest thing to do after a loss is to lose yourself. To immediately turn your back on the competition, sport, whatever you do, to immediately turn your back on the thing you love after a loss. But you know, immediately after, emotions are high, you want to just quit everything. But after a while, you mature, you learn how to deal with it, and you learn how to take something from it. Dustin said if he wants to, he can go for another title shot. And look at him now. Tomorrow is his third title shot. Third. This man, not only after losing the biggest fight of his career versus Khabib, then second biggest fight versus Charles, he is now at it at a third time. This man failed at the biggest stage and he came back. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I don't care who or what tells me. No matter on what stage you lose, no matter how many people were watching, you can always bounce back. There is always room for improvement. If you failed and there's no way how you can improve and there's no way you came back, then that must mean you quit. There's no other explanation. Now on his most recent loss and most brutal loss, I will say, is the head kick KO from Justin Gaethje. Let's see what he learned from that.
Dude, they all are. I mean, it's always nice to bounce back, you know. I am Mr. Bounce Back. To right the ship, to get back in the win column after a devastating loss like the Gaethje fight, you know, it just to do shit the right way, have a great training camp, really focus. You know, I practice a lot of mindfulness this camp. I kind of block myself out from everybody. I have so many people to catch up with because I didn't respond to any texts. I didn't answer any calls. Like I was just freaking, I took myself into another place like this training camp, you know?
Have you ever done that before? Like to that extreme?
Not to that extreme, no.
And how extreme is that? Like, are you literally not talking to anyone except your family? Like how deep do you go?
Even my family. I mean, I haven't spoke to my father in like 8 or 9 weeks.
Wow.
He was calling me all throughout camp. He called me on fight day. I didn't return any calls to anyone.
Obviously, you've had the ups and downs. It's all well documented. You've never hid from any of it. But did you feel this time like your back was truly against the wall? Like, was this as close to do or die as you can get? They're all the biggest one. The next one's the biggest one, and then it's the biggest one. But like, did you feel that way considering all the circumstances leading up to it?
Yeah, and you know, I'm no stranger to being beat, you know, to coming off of losses. But this one at 35 years old, after getting title shots and working my way up, getting another title shot, when you lose like that to a guy like Gaethje, and at this age, it really felt like, you know, all losses suck, but this one really hurt, you know, because I don't know how many more runs, how many more chances I have left. That's why I kind of embraced this whole fight week. Even in the tunnel before I walked out, this training camp, like, I was just more grateful for everything, because I really mean it. Like, every time I do this could be the last time, and I just want to enjoy those feelings and those emotions. I was telling my wife before the fight, on fight day, like, what a life, how grateful am I to be able to experience these emotions. Like, even through fight week, through the interviews and stuff, I was like, you know what, I'm getting to experience this. I'm grateful for it. I feel good. It's just like, it's tough to put into words the emotions of fight week and the stress and the pressure of being under that magnifying glass of a fight like this, especially coming off of a loss. But I tried to put myself in a mind frame where I was just looking at things like an experience, instead of, I have to do this interview, I have to do this workout, I was looking at it like from a third person, like outside of myself, like, I get to experience these things. You know, this is an experience, these emotions, this uncomfortableness. I'm about to walk out here in front of Miami and fight for my life. I get to experience this. Like, it just felt good thinking of things that way.
Win, draw, or loss, it's always good to be grateful. Be grateful that you can experience the emotions of a loss, you can experience the emotions of a win, because not everybody can. Not everybody can experience those things. So just be grateful that you even have an opportunity to go through these things, to experience them, to learn from them, and to become a better person after. I do think Dustin went to the extreme of not speaking to anybody. I mean, that is just insane, but I guess, hey, he's at the top level, I can't say nothing. But I think the point is, don't take it so seriously. Don't take it like, oh my god, I'm under so much pressure, there's so much weight on my back. Relax. Look at everything you have accomplished so far. There's so much more to go through, and hey, in a decade, you look back at this moment thinking, oh my god, my life is over, and you will laugh. Now, a question for you. Who do you think is gonna win? Dustin or Islam? And Sean or Costa? I wanna hear them too. Who do you think is gonna win and how? Post them in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that.